Hey everybody. I've had about a day and a half to kick it over in my head trying to understand why it happened or what their motives were. But first off, I want to say thank you, B. Yarborough, for posting the information. I only wish that more media people would be talking about it or covering it, but obviously it didn't even make any news whatsoever, and it should have. To everyone of YouTube and Facebook, a heinous and most inhuman crime happened yesterday. The people of Faroe Island quite literally slayed 1,000 Calderon dolphins. Just because. They were happy about it. They had no compunctions of doing so. Obviously, they didn't feel guilty or have a soul. For that, I think they need to just go away from the planet Earth. Or die. Because to commit such a heinous crime as it was, there is no human soul in that in beings that could do such a thing. Now, it isn't the first time that life forms from the sea have had to pay their lives to land dwellers for nothing. Just because land dwellers cannot understand that how they treat other life and try and justify it is no different than how we would be treated, how we would react. Okay? We'll take the Indians, for instance. We viewed them as savage. But if somebody were to invade our country, it seems like it's almost quite different. But it's not. You know, we would get offended. We would get pissed. We would fight for our homeland. They did no different. So they were no different than us. You know, we make movies all the time about it. Pocahontas, Avatar, where we went to another being's home planet and acted like we had a right to be there. It was their home. They had a right to fight for it and defend it against us. And I say right on. But we need to stop seeing ourselves as like, why are they attacking or fighting us? 'Cause you're in the wrong. You're the invaders. Okay? We need to wake up and see this. You all need to wake up and see this. For all life. It is no different. We are no different. We are all the same. We may look differently, we may bleed differently, or whatever, we may breathe differently. Whether it's sea life or or land. We're all the same. We all feel the same way. All the gamuts of emotions. Rage, happiness, joy, despair, etc. We need to see each other as fellow beings on the same planet instead of treating all of us like we're alien or like we're some subspecies. Okay? We also need to acknowledge the bad stuff that is present. You newscasters want to cover something that's real, something that's truthful, and something that's actually bad and or good, then why don't you start reporting the truth? Because that is why you became reporters. To do that. Instead of telling lies. Nancy Grace, CNN, MSNBC, CBS, ABC, Fox. Start reporting the truth. Be the journalists that you are. Instead of the mud throwers. Otherwise, you're no better than the tabloid rags and TMZ. Why don't you grow a spine and stand up and do what's right? Why don't you start covering stuff that's really happening, like black market slave trades or black market sex slave trades involving children and other adults? That people who disappear mysteriously, well, that's probably where they are. Why don't you report on that? Why don't you be a journalist? Why don't you be a damn human being for once, instead of a money-hungry slime ball? You know, why don't you use your conscience? You know, why don't humanity? This is a reality check for you. If you have a conscience, why don't you start using it instead of turning a blind eye to everything? That's all I got.